Kennedy Brady. Thank you for tuning in to Living Room Live. I'm so excited that you decided to spend your Monday night with us. Yes, that's right. It is our very first new date, Monday, August 3rd. Now we're going to be doing Living Room Lives on Monday from now on. So make sure that you put that in your calendar and you subscribe to our YouTube channel so you know to join us on Monday nights at 7:30. And I'm really excited about this actual broadcast because we have some incredible artists. I cannot wait to share Aya Wallace with you. She's going to give us a performance tonight and have an incredible conversation and a surprise performance by Patrick Torres. So make sure you watch the entire show. It's going to be really exciting. So we decided here on Living Room Live that it wasn't enough just to support and celebrate the artists in our area and the people who've come through Theater Raleigh. We decided we wanted to also embrace and celebrate and promote all the incredible theater companies in our area as well. We have a lot of amazing theaters in this area. It is a really awesome place to be doing art. So last week we celebrated the North Carolina Theater, which is where I grew up doing most of my shows. But I will say one of my very first performances ever was at Raleigh Little Theater. So that was a very exciting thing that I got to do, and we're going to celebrate them tonight, Raleigh Little Theater, with Patrick Torres and Aya Wallace. And next week we are going to have Deb Royals and Shonda Branch here representing Pure Life Theater Company. So let's see a little tape about them. Roll it. Can't wait to see that. That's going to be so fun to have Shonda doing a performance and getting to talk to Deb Royals about Pure Life and her collaboration with a number of people since it's a collective, and talk to her about her history. It's going to be a really fun and exciting night. But before that, we're going to have a fun and exciting night here. And we also have the Lombardi reunion special coming up on Sunday. That's going to be August 9th at 7:30. Really excited about showing you some fun clips from that show, walking down memory lane, and talking with the entire cast about some of their experiences while they were rehearsing and performing that show. So that's going to be really, really fun. If you are watching tonight, which obviously you are because you're listening to me right now, we would love to have you subscribe to this channel so you can get notifications, because we're doing a lot of awesome things on YouTube. Since the pandemic has happened, we have pivoted all of our efforts to virtual, and we'll continue to do so since we aren't going to be doing any real big productions until April of 2021. So if you want to keep up with Theater Raleigh, make sure you subscribe down below to Theater Raleigh's YouTube channel. And of course, Ashley in the chat is going to put up some links to tell you how you can donate, not only to Theater Raleigh, but also to RLT, because we're celebrating them tonight. So if you love Patrick Torres and Aya Wallace and all the amazing people over at RLT, you should donate to them as well. Theaters have been hit very hard during this time, and we could all use your help. And part of that help, honestly, is just showing up here and supporting live theater and watching us and talking with us and chatting with us on the chat here at YouTube, because we will be talking back with you. If you have any questions, go ahead and type them into the chat, and I will make sure that I ask them of Patrick and Aya both. So do that. Okay, so our next guest is Patrick Torres himself. And I'm going to read his bio. I've picked up my iPad so I can make sure I get to say all the amazing things that this man has done. He joined RLT in 2014. Prior to that, he served as the Directing Fellow at the Shakespeare Theater Company, Associate Artistic Director at Young Playwrights Theater, and Director of Middle and High School Programs at Creative Action. He has directed at the Kennedy Center, the Southwest Shakespeare Festival, Roundhouse Theater, and Source Festival, and the Hangar Theater, among others. He was selected as a Drama League Directing Fellow, and in 2005, he was named Young Leader of Color by the Theater Communications Group. Patrick also has a Master's of Fine Arts from the University of Southern Mississippi. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome Patrick Torres. There he is.
Hey.
Woo-hoo. Thank you for being with me tonight.
Thanks for having me.
Do you know what happened on that?
What?
I was reading this massive bio, and I am so old that my eyeballs could not catch back up to this massive text of all the amazing things that you've done.
No, thank you.
So obviously you were from DC before, because you have Kennedy Center and Roundhouse. I mean, you're not from DC?
I'm not from DC,
Okay,
no.
where are you from? Texas?
I'm from Texas.
Okay, I
West
was
Texas.
like, I think Texas before I say it.
Yeah.
What took you to DC?
So after grad school, I was looking around, like, what am I going to do next, as we do. And I needed, at the time, I needed an internship that would allow me to get some money and to live. And,
Well, there's that.
There's that. And so the Shakespeare Theater Company had a great internship program, and so I was their casting and directing fellow. So went up and interviewed with Michael Kahn, and that's how I got there.
Amazing.
Really lucky.
And stayed there?
I did. I stayed there for 10 years.
Amazing. Now that's an incredible theater community too.
It is.
Which is, I always say, I think Raleigh could one day be like the Washington, D.C. Theater Company.
Yeah.
We have so much great theater here.
We do, and it's feeling very similar, actually, to when I got there in the early 2000s.
See?
It's
Manifesting
just
right here.
and growing, absolutely.
That's awesome. Maybe it's you. Maybe you brought it with you.
I'll take credit for it.
Well, so tell us a little bit about what brought you to North Carolina. Were you headhunted? I mean, how did that happen with RLT?
It's a pretty funny story. So, we had lived in D.C. for 10 years. I got married there, had my first child there. And, it just became, like, especially with a kiddo, a pretty expensive city to stay in. And so we were looking, to make a move. I'm from Texas. When you're from Texas, it stays in your blood forever. My family was still there. And so we wanted to go. Now having a new child, we wanted to go spend some time around family, and my grandmother was not well, and I wanted to see her and spend some time with her, and I'm so glad I got to do that before she passed. So, so we left in 2011, and we moved to Austin, Texas. I took the job at Creative Action.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that was in Austin.
Yeah, it was in Austin. And so what happened in DC when I was at Young Playwrights Theater, I started doing playwriting work at Young Playwrights Theater. I just said that, sorry. But I started doing work in the juvenile detention system there.
Oh, wow.
And so that's what took me to Austin. That Creative Action was, I worked with the Travis County Juvenile Detention System, using theater to teach character agency and playwriting and all that stuff. So that was really what took me there, and I stayed there for a while. And then I wasn't looking for a job. So Charles Faniff was the executive director at Raleigh Little Theater. And so I knew Charles from DC. We actually crossed paths at the Shakespeare Theater for about a year.
Okay.
And he just asked one day, I guess he was emailing or Facebooking his entire Facebook list. He was like, will you please like Raleigh Little Theater? And I was like, oh, absolutely. And so I was like, I wonder what they're up to. And I clicked on the link, and they were looking for an artistic director.
That was serendipitous.
It was. And so I emailed my wife. I was like, could you move to Raleigh? And then she emailed me back about 6 hours later. It was like, I have to stop looking at things to do in Raleigh.
Oh my God, that is so cute. That is hilarious.
Yeah. So, I interviewed for the job. I really thought it was a long shot. Like I said, I wasn't looking. I love Creative Action. It's a great company, and it just worked out.
Oh my gosh.
It was hard to leave my family again.
Of course.
But it's a dream job. I was really excited about it.
But I feel like your mother is now here.
She is.
Last time I saw you at Playmakers, she was with you.
Yeah.
And so this is something I don't know why I'm asking you on camera now, but I have been meaning to ask you. You were supposed to direct at Playmakers, right?
I was.
And then, of course, it was probably derailed by COVID-19.
It was. We got a week into rehearsal.
Oh my God, Patrick.
It's okay. It was a great week.
So what's going to happen? Is it going to be?
Well, we don't know yet.
Okay.
I know that everybody, as you know, we're all still just kind of waiting to see what's going to go on. But I know I said that and laughed, but it really was a very good week. And we had like 75% of the show blocked in 1 week. And great actors, Viv's great. And so
it's such a great place to work.
It was really exciting. But
well, I'm sure you'll get another opportunity there, because I know that they trust you and believe in you, and they were lucky to have you. Oh gosh, I hope it happens.
I do too.
It seemed like a really interesting play.
And that play, what was interesting and what made me so excited, I mean, aside from working for Playmakers, which I've loved for a long, long time, Karen Zacharias wrote that play. Okay. And she founded Young Playwrights Theater. So my first salaried gig was working with her and for her and her company. So it was, Yeah, so I reached out to her when I got the gig, and she said, "Oh, it feels like a homecoming because we were going to be able to work together again." So hopefully it'll happen.
Okay.
She has amazing plays. So.
Yeah, we're putting it out there. It's going to happen again. Absolutely. That is wild. So what is RLT doing during this time to pivot your efforts?
Yeah, so we've moved all of our education classes online.
Right.
That's a huge umbrella for us is education and making sure that students of all ages from 2 years old through adulthood have a class to take. So we've moved all of that online, and that's gone well in our summer camps. We also just closed this past weekend She Kills Monsters Virtual Realms, which was our Teens on Stage program. We were really proud of that. And then this Thursday is our annual fundraiser, Divas, which you can watch online this year. It's going to be all virtual.
Yes, you guys watch Divas on Thursday.
Absolutely, and that's always fun. That's our annual fundraiser where people compete to get a crown.
I love it.
And every dollar is a vote for your favorite diva. And,
I think it's such a great idea. How long has RLT been doing that?
That started in 2004.
Oh, wow. So a nice long time.
We took 2 years off, so this is actually the 15th production of Divas. In its history, it's raised $600,000 for the theater.
What?
So, yeah.
So is that your big fundraiser every year?
That's our big fundraiser every year, and it got postponed. It was supposed to be in May.
Okay.
And so we pivoted, and we're doing an online fundraiser this time.
I love it. As I was Googling through RLT stuff, because I was going to compile a video together, so much of the submissions are on your YouTube page. So it was so fun to click through and see, oh, I know all these people who have been up for, the Diva.
The Diva. They get
Which
a huge
I've
crowd.
never been asked to be a part of Divas.
Oh, well.
I am just saying.
She said it here, folks. Like you heard it.
I was like, wait a minute. Jess Barber did it? I want to do it.
I'd love it. Come on, we'll make it happen.
That's so cool. So you've been there for, I can't do the math, 6 years?
6 years.
Okay.
6 years Saturday.
Amazing.
Was my anniversary, yeah.
I mean, out of the, 75-year, how long has it been around?
It's 84.
84, okay, so
84.
the last time I looked, it was 75. These last 10 years went by fast.
I know, right?
I mean, when you said 2004, all I could think of was my daughter, 16. That's her entire life that you've been doing Divas. Okay, anyway, back on track. 84 years.
Yeah.
That is madness, but it has such a rich history here in Raleigh. Obviously, when you think about theater in Raleigh, everybody thinks of the comedy and tragedy masks and RLT.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, and it's overwhelming to feel that kind of history behind you in some ways, and in other ways it's like such a blessing. The number of volunteers that I've met there who have been married now 40-something years, and they met their spouse on stage there or backstage. So there's just so many stories, and so being able to keep that kind of momentum and that history alive and going is like just a really fun challenge.
Yeah.
And pretty exciting, but
Right.
it's a long, long history.
It is a long, long history, and like you said, a lot of people have their hearts are in it because it draws from the community, and your actors are volunteers, right? So I was watching also something that said you have like 140 volunteers a year, something like that, some crazy, large, massive number.
Yeah, it's a huge number of active
It might
volunteers.
even be more than that.
Yeah, it's about 140 actors. We have 140 roles a year.
I see.
And so behind, every
course.
actor, as
Yes.
is a huge amount of crew and people who are working to
Right.
put those actors on stage. And so it's really exciting.
Yeah.
There's probably about 400 active volunteers a year.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
All those people who have investment in you. That's got to feel really good.
It does feel really good. For me, like community theater is just so exciting because it allows people who maybe have never participated in the art form before a chance to really participate and to come and live their most creative life. They may have a 9-to-5 job that is nowhere near the arts, and this is their outlet.
Yes.
And so I really appreciate that RLT creates a home for folks. I mean, just like all the theaters do.
Absolutely. I mean, that is a real gift. And you have had people who've come through there who have gone to do amazing things, like Laurel Harris, I think she did Cinderella for a number of years, who's from here, and she's now on Broadway in Jagged Little Pill. I mean, it's definitely a breeding ground and a stepping stone for people. I played Dainty June in RLT's production of Gypsy when I was 7. My favorite moment of that was, of course, I was a kid. I mean, I was probably 7 or 8 years old. And, all I really cared about was hanging out backstage and playing like Bloody Mary in the bathrooms. And there's like Ouija board and stuff like that.
Of course. It's the right kind of building to play those games.
Oh my God. Well, and a guy named Kurt Beach was in it with me, and he's now like works in film and does like scenic design. It's just so crazy, like all these connective tissue that we have from this area. That was a very special moment for me, and my sister was in it with me. And I just remember I was on that stage, like, and every time I go in there, I remember this moment. Is they lined up all the girls, to choose the baby Louise and baby June, and he went down the aisle and said, "Can anybody do a split?" And I had never done a split in my entire life, and I was like, "I can." My sister looked at me like, "No, you can't," and I just went, "Rip!"
Oh, that's amazing! And that's your first lesson now in all your acting classes, right?
That's right.
Just tell them you can.
Just do it. Be fearless. I was sore for maybe a week later, but I got the part.
But you got the part. That's all that matters.
I'll never forget that.
That's amazing. What a story.
Just fearless. Just fearless. It's interesting that you talked about giving people this creative outlet. I want to talk a little bit about going to the juvenile centers when you were working in Austin. How much of that work informs what you're doing now? And can you just explain a little bit what that experience was like for you?
No, absolutely. So, theater is such a good way for young people, and particularly incarcerated youth, to think about choices, right, and agency.
Yeah.
There were so many times where they would start writing their play and somebody else would solve the conflict for them, right? A grandmother would come in, or a teacher or something like that. And without talking about you and what you've done to be in here and all that stuff, I can say, what could this character do to affect their own future? What could they do to end the conflict? What could they do to make it stop? Like, let's quit giving it to other characters. What can this character do? That's what an audience wants to see.
Yeah.
And then really hoping that translates into like them understanding that we all have agency and that we can all make choices that can improve our future. And so for me, theater has always been a social tool. It's always been about telling stories that help men and women live their lives and understand a little bit more about the world. Like I always think about when someone comes to see a play, they come with their own set of experiences and perspectives on the world.
Yep.
And the play is intended to draw them towards characters maybe they've never met before, to maybe introduce them to someone who affirms a belief they have or challenges a belief they have. And I really believe that when theater is at its best, it changes the seer. And then the seer walks out, and then they have all their relationships, and they go, I saw this play, and I've been thinking about this topic, and I want to talk about it with you. Like, to me, that's the dialogue of theater, is what happens in my soul that then I share when I go out in the world. And I think that kind of immediate feedback in the detention system was really present. And so I carried those stories with me. It also, I have to tell you, made me really, really honor the voice of the playwright as kind of a paramount voice. Because watching students, and particularly kids that were in jail, take ownership of their story and care so much about what they were writing, it makes me go, all writers do that. It's a baby for them. It's coming from their soul. And to watch that process happen in front of you with a young person, you go, like, I'm going to respect the playwright. They're on the level 10 for me.
That is a great lesson, actually, because, obviously there's a lot of cooks in the kitchen when you're creating a piece of theater, but you're so right. The writer is the person who is, put together all the ingredients, and, it's their heart and soul that is being put into it. And like you said, a baby, it's their baby. That is really cool that you're able to take those lessons and then apply it to what you do every day. And I 100% agree with you about the dialogue is what happens when the curtain comes down. That is so important. And I'm kind of late to that. I grew up, doing musicals, and I came doing like shiny, fun, upbeat entertainments. And it wasn't really until I got to college that I was like, oh wait, plays, and oh wait, musicals that like have really important morals. And I got super drawn to wanting to be able to participate in those, and had a hard time getting cast and stuff like that, honestly.
Yeah, sure.
And part of what I'm trying to do at Theater Raleigh, not to be confused with Raleigh Little Theater, which people do all the time, by the way.
We all get calls. Yeah.
Exactly. What we do at Theater Raleigh is really shifted in the last few years to make sure that we are holding a mirror up to the world. And you said it beautifully about the seer seeing people that they are either alike or either they're challenged by.
Absolutely.
That's cool, because I actually have mainly been thinking about it as like we want to see ourselves, but we don't always like what we see,
Right, right.
But the fact is that sometimes you're more even drawn to somebody who challenges you, and you're like, why? And then you have to go figure it out.
Absolutely.
That is so cool.
Absolutely. And, you know, musical, like because I even think about comedy and musical theater as like those modes, even when they're like farce, you know, it's intended to reinforce social code. It's intended to teach us how to be moral and ethical, and we can challenge that or we can believe in it, but there's always a purpose. And so, you know, and of course, as you know, some musicals are so subversive and good.
I mean, we're going to trick you, but we're going to get you.
Right, and challenge. I mean, like Scottsboro Boys that you all did was one of my favorite plays I've ever seen.
Oh, thank you.
And that production specifically. I mean, you know, I think that we do have this opportunity, and I think Raleigh's a great community to allow these kinds of stories to be told, these really challenging stories that really make us confront the darker parts of ourselves. And so that's been an exciting thing that's been happening in the community lately.
Well, and of course, very timely as well. And you and I have been on numerous phone calls together and speaking with other artistic leaders in the area. And there is a very united front, which is an amazing feeling. Absolutely. So we know that all the stories are going to be told here, and we're going to have a place at the table for everybody.
Absolutely.
Right?
That's
I just think
goal.
Absolutely. I'm very inspired by you, and I could talk to you all day, and I'm not finished with you, but I want to find out what is your aesthetic then. So obviously you've done Shakespeare and you've done classics, that kind of thing. What is the thing you love the most in terms of styles?
Yeah, well, you know, I came to musicals late in my career, so I think they're fighting to get up there. But I mean, for me, it really is all about the story. Like, I really have to be compelled by the story, and I believe like at the heart of every story is one question, right? Like for Hamlet, like, well, Hamlet avenged his father's death, right? And that question can be answered in so many different ways based on what's going on in the world, what's going on in politics and in the social, you know, space. And so I think those questions become relevant again. So for me, it's like if I believe that that question speaks to who we are as people, then let's do that show. Or if that question's never been answered in a way that I think is satisfying, let's do that show.
Nice.
You know what I mean? So like it's really just looking for what that question is.
So then when you're choosing your season, is it based on those stories, or you're like, oh, well, we've done 2 musicals and 1 comedy, I need to do a tragedy? I mean, you know, do you ever consider those things, or is it purely storytelling?
No, it is. I mean, I think it's a balance, right? And I believe I'm a person who, I'm a huge fan of stand-up comedy. And so I really believe that comedy can in many ways be the thing that affects us the most.
Absolutely.
And so I do like to have a balance of kind of the different tones across the season. But for me, it is important that like we believe that every show we do has something to offer to our community right now.
Listen, you do an amazing job curating your seasons.
Oh, thanks so much.
100%. It's absolutely beautiful. And you're right about comedy, because I always say it kind of warms your heart, and then it opens your heart and allows you to really understand and learn the lessons that are being presented, or whatever the moral play is.
Yeah,
so I think
absolutely.
That's neat.
You know, Topher Grace, who wrote a play that I directed at RLT called Perfect Arrangement, you know, it was about the lavender scare and like the State Department like firing homosexuals. And so I was talking with him. I was like, why did you write this as a comedy? And he said, you know, comedy disarms you. And once you're disarmed, then I can affect you, right? Once I break down the wall.
Exactly.
And so I've always loved that he said that.
I love that. I also love that you just dropped in Topher Grace.
I'm sorry, Topher, did I say Grace?
You did. Was it not Topher Grace?
Topher Payne.
Oh, Topher Payne. I was like, wow, Topher Grace wrote a play?
I love Topher Grace. That 70s show, one of my favorite shows.
No, I thought you were just doing like a really subtle name drop.
I'm
I'm not familiar with that play, so I didn't know.
Yeah, Topher Payne, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Topher Payne, got it. Now I know. I'd love to read it.
Oh, yeah. I will give you my copy.
Because it's all about warming your heart, so we can listen to the message. I love that. Well, let's bring out Aya Wallace, because she is an amazing singer, and she's done tons and tons and tons and tons of stuff at RLT and other theaters in our area. I'm going to also read her amazing bio. I hope I can. I'll probably have to hold it out here. Aya is a Triangle area performing artist and educator. Her theater roles have included Celie in JTP's The Color Purple, Felicia in RLT's production of Memphis, which she won a Canty Award, and The Lady in Theater Raleigh's production of The Scottsboro Boys, and Mildred in Pure Life Theater's Loving. Ugh, Aya. Aya was recognized for her choreographic work in Interact's production of Spring Awakening. She has co-directed JTP's Zuccotti Park and is currently directing and choreographing for Pure Life Theater's production of Purlie. I'm going to ask her all about that. Can't wait to hear. Before theater, Aya was a classically trained ballet dancer, and she went through the pre-professional division at Raleigh School of Ballet, Boston Ballet and Dance Theater of Harlem. She has a BS in kinesiology, wow, smarty pants, and Dance Theater of Harlem. I told you I can't read. She has a BS in kinesiology from Temple University and an MA in dance education. Oh my God, you guys, I'm ruining it. I'm slaughtering it. She's amazing. She's an adjunct ballet professor at NC Central University. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy this performance from Aya Wallace.
The sun is sinking and time's got me thinking, as we grow old, will our love stay strong or will it disappear? Tomorrow's unknown, but today is our own. So take my hand, hold on with no fear, 'cause baby, I'm here. I will see you through, I'll be there for you. We will endure what life has in store. Have faith and believe, like the air that you breathe. Love will stand when all else falls. Love will stand when all else falls. Oh, I've been put through hell more than I can tell. Now I finally see. Oh, there's one way to live. Be kind and forgive. I have the power in me. Oh, follow every need. We will endure what life has in store. Have faith and believe, like the air that you breathe. Love will stand when all else follow. We will endure what life has in store. Oh yes, faith and believe, like the air that you breathe. Love will stand when all else falls. Love will stand when all else falls.
So that was Love Will Stand When All Else Falls, and that was from the show Memphis, which is the first show that I participated in, and it was a huge honor to work with Patrick as our director. I'm at Raleigh Little Theater. The next song that I will be singing for you is Beautiful City. As Lauren stated, I choreograph, and I was able to choreograph Godspell at Theater in the Park and fell in love with this song. And I also believe that this song is an encourager, is a statement, is something that we can listen to and hope for our world today.
Out of the ruin and rubble, out of the smoke, out of our night of struggle, can we see a ray of hope? One pale thin ray reaching for the day. We can build a beautiful city. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We can build a beautiful city. Not a city of angels, but a city of men. We may not reach the ending, but we can start slowly but truly mending, brick by brick, heart by heart. Now, maybe now we start learning how we can build a beautiful city. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We can build a beautiful city. Not a city of angels, but a city of men. When your trust is all but shattered and your faith is all but killed, you can give up, bittered and battered, or you can slowly start to build a beautiful city. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We can build a beautiful city. Not a city of angels, but finally a city of men. City of men. Beautiful city.
Woo! Yes, ma'am. Hey, girl.
Hi.
I'm gonna come up here and chat with you up here.
Sure.
Amazing,
Thank
gorgeous.
you.
Jay Wright, everybody, ladies and gentlemen. Jay Wright is on the piano. Thank you so much. That was awesome, both of you. Okay, Aya, somebody who, like you said about yourself, that's a
Yes.
bunhead. Classically trained ballet dancer.
Yes.
When did you start singing?
So I started singing, well, man, when I came out the womb, probably.
You did? Okay, gotcha.
But one of the things that comes to my mind is just, sitting. My father's a musician.
Oh, I see.
So whenever he was playing, and whatever he was singing,
Sure.
I was, doing my best to make sure that I could sing it just like he did.
I love it.
And even now we argue over what keys and things happen. So it's funny. It's
amazing.
So I'm like, Dad, that's not the key. He's like, yes, it is. So.
Wow. So
Yeah.
did he play instrument as well?
Yes, he played piano, he played sax, he played
Gosh.
trumpet, and he was self-taught.
All the
Yeah,
things.
all the things.
And can you play any instruments as well as sing? Okay,
No.
great. Finally, give somebody else a chance.
No.
Because you have all the gifts. At least you don't have that. No, I'm just
I
kidding.
tried the flute, but yeah.
I was terrible. I couldn't do any instruments. Like,
Yeah.
my voice is my instrument, I guess. But my brother plays every instrument. He plays the piano, guitar, bass, drums, all the things.
Yeah.
But he got it all, and nobody else got
Okay,
any
you
of
got-
those
you got the
too.
voice.
Well, he got that too. Anyway,
Oh, okay.
fine,
Oh,
whatever.
okay.
Okay, so then how did you get interested in dance and ballet? I mean, what was that experience for you?
So I know this may seem a little weird, but I was like a little tomboy when I was growing up. And I moved from Fayetteville, North Carolina to Raleigh, North Carolina around 4th grade. And I had a best friend, and her name, oh wow, I'm about to cry, was Jessica. And Jessica, she was in ballet, and I wanted to like join and be a part of that. And I had already been dancing before.
Sure.
And, but jazz and a little bit of ballet. And then my mom also put me into some ballet courses. But then I saw what Jessica was doing.
Awesome.
And she was at Raleigh School of Ballet, and they were doing some big things. And so
Yeah.
my mom was able to enroll me into that program, and that's where I got started.
I mean, that's super legit.
Yeah.
I spent like maybe like 3 or 4 classes at Raleigh School of Ballet, and I was like, I can't keep up.
Yes, you really do have to like
Keep up.
have focus. I mean, we would go from school. There was a bus
Oh,
that would leave. I went to Enloe, so they
Okay.
would leave Enloe and take us straight to the studio.
Yeah.
Like that's how
No,
serious
it's
it
the
was.
dedication. There's like nothing else. So no
Nothing
more
else.
tomboy for you, right?
No.
You didn't play any more sports after that.
No.
And how old were you then? You might have said.
So I was like in 4th grade.
Aw.
So I don't know. Was that like 10? I don't know.
Yes, we'll say 10.
I don't know.
I don't know. We both have children, but I
Yes.
cannot remember for the life
When
of
they-
me what age is what.
They got through.
Well, they're getting through. Is your son a senior this year?
He is actually a junior.
So is my daughter is a junior
yeah,
as well.
he's a junior.
Oh man.
Yeah.
It's such a tricky time for them, isn't it?
It definitely has been. It definitely has been. But I think he's like a little feeling it too much because he's like, yeah, school from home, I can do this.
Oh, he's into it.
Yeah.
Okay.
The only thing is basketball.
I was going to say, I knew he played sports, so
Yeah.
that had to be
Yeah.
a thing. And
It
so
was a
mo-
letdown.
Yeah, exactly. Well, my daughter's into dance, and she is very disappointed because she can't be with her friends and go to the dance class. They're doing everything virtually, and that's
Okay.
tricky.
Well, I will say that I don't know if this is like it's not a plug, but Block they're
Oh,
making masks now.
Let's
so
plug it. Hello, Riley, if you're watching, Block make. See, I knew that there was a lot of investigation going on
Yeah.
about masks that you could wear while you were active.
Right, yeah.
Okay, Block. How about
Yeah.
that?
They
They
have a
make
whole
shoes
line.
and masks.
shoes and masks.
I love
Everybody's
it.
in it.
Oh my god, I just love. I was so bad at ballet, so yeah, no, it was terrible. I just wanted to be free and
Yeah.
just dance around, and just do my musical theater thing. But what sort of brought you to ballet? Obviously, your friend, and you wanted
Yeah.
to. But was it the discipline? Was it the beauty? I mean, the grace? I don't know. What was it for you?
I believe it was I know this again, the rhythm of the music and how I could make my body interact with the rhythm and the melodies of the music. Again, it just goes back to growing up as a child of a musician.
Right.
So allowing my body to express what the music was saying was just that's what really brought me to it. And then my body could flow and move in that way.
Yeah.
And then as a ballet educator, we tell people all the time, learn ballet and you'll be able to do everything else.
It's so true. It's the foundation,
It's
right?
the foundation,
Yeah, maybe that's why I wasn't really a dancer. It didn't stick with the foundation like I should have.
Just go.
No, I was just like, I just want to be free. So you choreograph, obviously, a
Yes.
lot. And you're a teacher as well, which I
Yes.
said before at NC Central. Do you teach anywhere else in the area? Do you teach privately?
No, I don't. And several people have asked, but
This might be a really good time to start that.
Yeah, but I am a stickler for, because people are like, oh, you have a wooden floor, or hey, just teach them out on the concrete. And I'm like, do you want to sue me for like
Yeah.
shin
Broken
splints and
knees?
ankles?
Yeah.
So I'm really stickler about that. So I'm really hoping that an opportunity comes up. Actually, with Pure Life, there's space there that hopefully we can use to open up a dream of mine, which is to open up a dance education center.
Love
so
that.
people can come and learn. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, that's an amazing space, and we'll get to talk a lot with Deb next week as well, and Shonda about what you guys are doing over there. I know it's a collective effort, a lot of creative artists in leadership roles, which is really exciting. I love that.
Yes.
And the space is so exciting. And you are scheduled to direct and choreograph Purlie, or just direct? I can't.
Direct and choreograph.
Great. Okay.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yeah, so I'll be directing and choreographing Purlie, and we have shifted that to February. But we are actually, it's virtual time, so we're doing rehearsals, spacing. Like, here's a picture, guys. Here's what the outline, the layout was going to be, and this is where you're going to be, and this is where you're going to be, and this is where things are going to happen. And try and work that out so that when we do have the opportunity to come on stage, that everything will be set and we're ready to go.
Right, so it's more efficient, and people don't have to be in the room together for as long and all that. That's really smart. So it was supposed to be like right now,
August,
wasn't it?
yeah.
And then it's been moved to February. So buy your tickets to Purlie. It's still happening in February. What a wonderful show.
It is, and the music is awesome.
What a wonderful show. I love that. And you have obviously you have your cast.
Yes, we
do
do
you want to
have our
plug your
cast.
cast too?
Oh,
Let's hear who's in it, because I'm interested.
Gosh, there's so many.
Well, give me just like the top 5 you can
So we
think of.
have Darius, Tina Morris Anderson.
Yes.
We have Juan Isler.
Yes.
Oh gosh, we have Shonda Branch.
Okay. I love it.
Then we,
Singing her
just
face
have
off,
like
I hope.
Yes, she does, and she gets to play a very comedic role.
Which she does very well.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes. So yeah, that's a
good cast.
Yeah, and then Verlene, Ben, and then Dale.
Okay, awesome.
I think I got through all of them.
All right, cool.
And then of course we have an ensemble that's going to be working with us. We are going to have like a quartet of people singing with us to help with the ensemble, because I really want the ensemble to be dance, and I want them to be able to express movement, and for the audience to experience that too.
Awesome.
So yeah.
So in the theater, how will you configure it? Are the seats in Pure Life, are they set, or is it sort of a black box?
Yeah,
they're
so
set.
they are
kind
sort
of
of set, so we can manipulate some of the seats.
Fun.
So that's what we will be doing, and I'm just so excited that we were able to move it back to February, because now we can really concentrate on getting the set and the full idea of what we want.
Have the performance that you had in your mind, and you didn't have to make any sacrifices or alterations.
Exactly.
And it's such an intimate, sweet theater. So I'm sure the gathering size by February will be fine, because that's it's a nice, intimate theater.
And we'll be safe. We've been spraying.
I mean, she does. She told me she has one of those foggers, which Theater Raleigh's going to get as well.
Yay!
So what has been your most proud moment as, not even just a human? Like sometimes people ask me about proud moment. A lot of times I say about being a mother. But what is like what you think that your legacy is, or what you feel like you are most proud of doing on this earth?
So legacy, I'll start with legacy, and that will kind of bring me to the whole
Love it.
Cool. But my name is Aya, and I've learned over time that it's may be pronounced Aya. And that name is a main character in a play that my father wrote the music for, and that my aunt was a part of. And that was in South Carolina, in Florence, South Carolina, with the Abushua Theater Foundation. And it came out the same month and year that I was born. So that's how I got my name.
That's awesome.
And that truly has become my legacy. My grandmother, her name is Ethel. When I was maybe 6, I got to play Ethel in the show. And it was kind of weird, because there's Aya the character, but then Aya the person.
Right, exactly. Wow.
But, so over time, I just have this sense of, theater, performing arts, but then also advocating for everyone and for those who need to be advocated for through the arts, because I believe, and I believe Patrick had mentioned this too, is that it's important for the performing arts to be able to bring people in a setting where they can't really leave. They've already paid.
We got you.
We got you. But to be able to bring forth those issues and concerns of our society,
Yeah.
and then be able to talk about those and resolve and dig and be able to just in a light setting, because theater is light, in a light setting, be able to accomplish what the song just said, a beautiful city.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's true. Art is such a beautiful way to deal with some of these social issues.
Yeah.
You know, you said it on our Scottsboro Boys reunion show. It was one of the most impactful things that anybody said that night, which was you said your son came to see the Scottsboro
Yes.
Boys, and he wanted to sing one of the songs from the show with his group. But you mentioned that he saw himself on stage too.
He saw himself on stage, and that was like, I'm a
I know.
crier,
I'm
so
a
I
crier
might
too.
start crying.
Me too.
But
Always
you know,
crying.
it was just great for him because he was doing chorus at Millbrook High, and you know, he sings, you know,
Right.
But then he's on stage. And he's one of few that are on stage singing. So then to be able to go in a place locally and to sit in that chair and to see so many men that look like you
Yes.
sing with, like, I mean, they're awesome, you know?
Strong, talented,
So crazy.
African American men. I mean, we had 11 men on that stage who, that was so beautiful
It
to
was very-
watch and to be a part of that. And I can only imagine how impactful that
It was very impactful. The only thing is, I said the song that he wanted to sing. It's like, son, I don't think you can
That
take
one was
that back.
inappropriate. That one we're not going to do. But
Yeah.
the idea
Yeah.
is right. And
Yes.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that so much. Well, let's bring Patrick Torres. Do you want to come and join us back on stage? Because I have a little fun game for you guys,
Oh,
okay?
boy.
So I sterilized these phones. Here, would you like to take one and pass? We're going to play a little, can you guess the cover of this playbill by looking at only the picture without the title, okay? And they have these phones, and they have buzzers. You want to play your buzzer, so make sure it works? Oh, that's it. Got it. Okay. So how do you think you're going to do? We have 10 playbill covers. Do you think you got this? Not all musicals, but mostly musicals.
Maybe
Okay, so I'm going to show it to the
Jay.
audience first. Yeah, Jay he may pull down his mask and let us know what he thinks. Here's the first one. I'm going to show it to the audience. And then I'm going to show it to you guys.
Evita.
Evita! Ladies and gentlemen, Evita, Evita. Okay, okay, here's the next one. Ready? Anyone? Anyone?
Violet.
Violet!
I told you.
This was the revival of Violet starring Sutton Foster. Nice job, ladies and
North
gentlemen.
Carolina connection.
That's right,
Story about
absolutely. Spruce Pine. Okay, are you ready for this? Ladies and gentlemen, can you see it? Can you see it?
Chorus line.
Our chorus line! Woo! Did you see me? I was like, this is yours, girl.
You know, you're like, this is yours.
Okay, this is a hard one. Jay? Charlie? Eric?
I
Viewers
can
at home?
See, the words are hanging off that hanger.
Yes, they
Hey.
sure are. Charlie knows.
Oof.
Charlie, I'm going to make you sing it from behind the camera.
The pajama game.
No, good call. Almost.
Does it have to do with a lot of colors?
Lots of colors. What is it? You got it.
Joseph?
Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor
course.
Dreamcoat.
Of course.
I was almost going to sing Jacob and Sons. Here you go. This one. You got that? Anybody? Anybody?
Oh, wow.
Charlie?
I didn't close it.
Ruby? Ruby was walking around, by the way, when we were chatting. This, I'll give you a hint. It's about baseball.
Take me out.
Nope. Nope. Jay, you got this one?
Damn Yankees.
Damn Yankees! Damn Yankees! That was Gwen Verdon. Damn Yankees. Okay, cool.
Beautiful. Can I have her leg?
All right, this one's hard. This one's hard.
Funny girl.
Very good. So close, but no. So close. I can see why you said that, though. Anybody at home? Charlie? Anyone? It was written by Burt Baccarat.
If Jay doesn't know it, I'm out.
With promises. Promises. I'm all through with
Oh, you were singing.
promises.
Oh,
She was singing.
she was singing it. We still didn't get it.
We're like, what?
You were like, what is it? Okay, how about that one? That's a blank page. Just imagine words across those curtains. Ladies and gentlemen, anyone? Charlie, do you know? Eric Collins? Really? You could find the answer in the corner of the sky.
Oh,
I just directed that.
yes.
Pippin.
Then, well, you don't recognize.
What is a curtain? No.
I mean, it's so funny how it's actually the people in their circus
Uh-huh.
that you really recognize and not just the
And not
white.
the-
yeah,
right.
Crazy.
The negative. Yeah.
Okay. What about that one?
Oh,
Take it home. You got this.
I'm scared.
When I think of home, I think of
The Wiz.
The Wiz. It's The Wiz. That's
I
right.
was gonna guess.
I know. Isn't it funny? Without it, it's crazy. Okay. What about that one? Talking about impactful, really awesome social
Parade.
parade. It is. Woohoo. Okay. What about this one? This is hard. It's another dance show. It was from the 1970s version of this hit that is still on Broadway, and they've made a motion picture of it.
Chicago.
Chicago! And that is it.
Oh.
Yay!
Yeah, Aya wins.
You did a great job. Awesome. Okay, so we actually did have a couple of questions from some folks out there that I wanted to just wrap up with both of you before you sing your final amazing song and Patrick pulls out his guitar and plays for you. Someone asked what advice that either of you can give to someone who's interested in getting involved with directing, stage managing, or casting. Do you have any tips?
Yeah, absolutely. Show up and help.
Right?
Always email the people that you want to work with and just ask for a space on the team. I think especially at Raleigh Little Theater, as a community theater, we ache for people who want new experiences.
Right.
So, my information's on the website, and I think the best way to learn is to take a class and to just get in the rehearsal room, find people that'll let you be in there and observe. So, yeah, just reach out. I mean, it's an open community. Our community is so gracious about giving people access.
Right. What do you think?
That's what I was going to add is that don't be afraid to talk to people, get in contact with people, get in contact with the theaters, be a part of the what's going on and what's happening. Because, sometimes we think, oh, they're directors or, oh, it's, a huge theater. I can't talk. I can't communicate. I can't, because you are a real person and Patrick is a real person. So, don't be afraid.
That's really good advice. It's, people always are like networking, but the truth is like you said, just showing up, being in the room in any capacity, forging relationships with people, I think is a really great thing to do as well. And there's a lot of trust within the theater community and a lot of loyalty too. So I think like you both said, just being there and all that, I think that's a great thing to say. Mainly people on the chat just said how amazing you sounded.
Thank you.
How smart you are. So like I said earlier, I was sort of going through the RLT YouTube channel and wanted to just pull a few things because I think what you guys are doing at RLT has been incredibly impactful, and you've been a leader in so many things, such as, sensory friendly, and so much that you've done has been forging the way for everybody else, and we've kind of fallen, behind in step, which is amazing. That's what we should be doing, leading in different ways. But I love the variety of what you do offer, from your camps and education to your sensory friendly performances, making sure that things are ADA compliant, and you are, again, and making sure there's racial equity always in your storytelling, and also pushing the envelope with things like Hedwig. I mean, sometimes you think that might be like a bridge too far for a community theater that relies on, but you guys have been very, very brave. I mean, how was that experience doing Hedwig? And
it was great, and I think we were walking in opening night. I was walking in with my wife Nikki, and people like had suits on and things. And
You're like, "Wait a minute."
I said to her, "What have I done?" Because it was like in my first season that I had arrived, and but to watch them like in those suits and dresses get raucous.
I mean,
it was amazing, and I think just learning to trust the community, because I can tell you that a big part of I think the success that I have is that the volunteers are always willing to talk about what they want to see and where they want us to go and push. And so listening to the community has, you're giving me credit for it, but I give credit to the staff and to the volunteers.
Well, that's awesome leadership, is listening to the community that you serve. If you're just putting on shows that you like and you're not worrying about what your audience is interested in, then you're not really doing your job, right?
That's true.
Another little clip that's on this reel is from the production of Crowns, and I know that was incredibly impactful. Wait, why are you laughing?
Because I was in it.
Of course you were. Of course you were. I don't know if you're in this clip though, but I just remembered like the city was abuzz about that show. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, do you want to say anything?
Yeah, tell me about it.
I just love that I had a hat,
that
that I could shake my head.
There's lots of hats.
But one of the coolest things that happened, I was working with I'll call her a young lady, and she found out that we were doing the show. And come to find out, her family was from the town that I referenced in one of my monologues. And it was actually a story about their aunt.
You're kidding.
And so we got a whole bunch of books, I think, to pass out to the cast members of the story of that lady. So yeah, that was like the coolest thing, to be able to have her and have that family come and see the show and just laugh, because like they knew everything.
Well, they
was, like,
literally
honest.
knew those people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that talk about legacy too.
Yes.
That is awesome. I love it when it's personal like that. It's super meaningful.
For me,
sure.
maybe the most dynamic, amazing moment that I've ever had in the theater. I didn't direct that production. Tara Hodge did, and she did an amazing job. But every time I saw it, there was at least one moment during the show where the entire audience started singing with the cast, and it just like goosebumps. It was like just such an incredible experience to watch that with the audience.
Yeah, all recognizable songs and incredible singers.
Incredible
oh my
singers.
God.
Yeah, all of
It
them.
was amazing. So let's roll this little video of some of the RLT highlights and all the amazing work that they're doing. And then we're going to come back and you're going to get a special performance from Patrick Torres and Aya Wallace.
Going to the theater is just one of my favorite things to do. I have a 28-year-old special needs daughter who loves music. She loves to go to shows. She loves fairy tales and all of that stuff, but she has auditory sensory processing disorder. It's because you offered a sensory-friendly theater production. They had a show, Alice in Wonderland, and I saw the advertisement for it, and I was absolutely thrilled with what they were saying. They were offering sound reduction headphones. People can get up and talk if they want to, get up and walk around. They had some refreshments for them. They had their pictures taken with the characters, big smiles on their faces. I mean, it was a definite, oh, we have to do this again.
Oh, when the saints, go marching in, Oh, when the saints, go marching in. Lord, I want to be in that number. When the saints go marching in.
So, Lauren was kind enough to ask me to do this, and she said, "Who do you want to come sing on the episode?" And I was like, Aya was the first person I thought of, because I love Aya. I was a part of Memphis, and I think that was such a great time. And so, I'm not a singer, and really not much of a guitar player, although I love to play, but I've just always wanted to perform with Aya. I always thought that would be an amazing thing. So said to Aya, what if we do a song together at the end? And I threw this song at her that she didn't know. But this is a song that I wanted to hear her sing. It's a song by David Ramirez, who is an artist out of Austin, Texas, who I love very much. And in this time, I just think that it's a blessing of a song. And, the song talks about that even in the darkness, we can find the light. And so I just wanted to share it with you all as we kind of finish up tonight. I'm really nervous. Are you good?
Yeah, a little.
All right, here we go.
I wish upon you peace. I wish upon you grace. I wish for less of what you want and more of what you need. I wish upon you an old life with a heart that stays young. But most of all, I wish upon you love. Wish upon you truth when all you feel is doubt. I hope you know that an open mind still knows when to shut things out. I wish upon you a brave heart that will always rise above. But most of all, I wish upon you love. And as the sun sets, the moon begins to rise. So even in the darkness, you'll find the light. You'll find the light. You'll find the light. Yes, even in the darkness, you'll find the light. I wish upon you an easy life. I wish upon you hard times. I hope you know that both joy and pain each need their moment to shine. I wish you ears that are quick to listen, that you're slow to use that tongue. But most of all, I wish upon you love. 'Cause as the sun sets, the moon begins to rise. 'Cause even in the darkness, you'll find the light. You'll find the light. You'll find the light. You'll find the light. Yes, even in the darkness, you'll find the light.
Yes! Again, Patrick Torres with all the gifts, please.
Yeah.
You're amazing.
Oh,
That sounded
thank you.
really good.
Thank you.
And you sounded gorgeous again.
Thank
you
you.
so much for being here, Aya and Patrick. This has
Thank you
been a
for having
really fun night. I've loved having the both of you here. And of course, Jay Wright, who was on the piano. Thank you, Jay. And also Charlie Brady and Eric Collins behind the camera and the console. This has been such a fun night. And thank you, Ruby, my dog. She definitely made an appearance tonight, walked through as we were singing and chatting, but that's how we roll here on Living Room Live. That's
great.
So don't forget to tune in on Sunday to our Lombardi reunion special. It's going to be super awesome. We're going to roll a little tape so you can see what you have in store.
Could be the one play in the whole ball game which can cause the winning or the losing of the entire season. What is the matter? How many times I gotta tell you, square off before you tackle? Square off, then tackle the guy.
And Lombardi? I couldn't get him to sit down for more than 2 minutes.
Now that mistake is gonna...
What do you want,
Oh,
Vince?
don't throw it back on me like
Why?
that.
Do what you want, because it's all going to boil down to that in the end.
I'm asking your advice.
Then I'm telling you. I can't find it anywhere. Oshkosh, Sheboygan, Kiwani. Is it an Indian reservation?
You're gonna be my Frank Gifford. You're gonna play left halfback for me, or you are not gonna make it in professional football. You understand?
Yes, sir.
And when you get that ball, Jim Taylor or Paul Horning, I want you to follow that blocker and I want you to run in the alley. Run to daylight.
I know we get treated the same around here.
Like dogs.
Yeah, I had an exhibition games. They gotta pay us for those.
That's good.
No more working for free.
I like that.
It was nice to have you here this week, Michael. A little breath of Manhattan.
Let's go, baby, let's go.
That is going to be so fun. That is going to be one testosterone-filled evening. If you love football and you love theater, join us on Sunday night, August 9th at 7:30. It's going to be a blast. It really will be fun. My husband, who's behind the camera, Charlie Brady, directed that production, so he's going to be with us as well. That'll be fun. And of course, on our new date, Monday, August 10th, we're going to have Deb Royals and Shonda Branch. You do not want to miss that conversation and that performance. So tune back in here on YouTube and subscribe while you're at it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and supporting live theater. Support RLT, donate to RLT, and donate to Theater Raleigh at the same time while you're at it. We could use your help. And in the meantime, please be safe and be good to each other. And for Pete's sake, wear your masks so we can all get back in the theater. Am I right?
Absolutely.
Bye, you guys. Love you. Take care.